Hi.
Hi.
Oh, we're so good at
You do the intro, Goth.
this. Yay. It doesn't say you're live yet, so
Yeah, I'm
refreshing
waiting.
your stream.
Wait. No, never mind.
Yep, there we go. We're live. What is up, guys? This is Goth. That's Moon,
Hi.
and that's Dark.
I am dark.
We are talking about Dead by Daylight today. It's super exciting. Moon, what have you been up to?
What do you mean?
Game-wise, what have you been playing?
I've been playing way too much Dragon Ball Legends.
Yeah, we're late, bro.
Hey, Brew, what's up?
Dark, what games have you been playing besides Dead by Daylight?
Why you asking
What?
me this question, and then you're like, besides that game you're playing, what you been playing?
Well, we know you've been playing Dead by Daylight.
Okay, well, guess what? I've also been playing Dreams,
Oh,
which is that super nifty game creation game made by Media Molecule, where people make weird meme games constantly.
you should stream that game.
I should.
I have been playing. I just got a Switch, so I played Breath of the Wild for like 2 days, and it's actually not terrible. So
You're probably farther than me now.
actually, I'm not because I haven't played very much. I had to
mean-
work on some stuff for today and all that fun stuff.
I want a Switch, but I don't want to pay for one. That's my problem with most gaming-oriented things.
As someone who just bought one, I would say wait because the gaming library is not that big.
She's wrong.
It's not.
This
Don't make Andrew get in here and, like, go fucking nuts again.
Okay, let me rephrase that. The gaming library that I think you would be interested in is not very big.
I mean, we don't know that. We don't know what games Dark likes.
Okay, the gaming library I'm interested in is not very big, and I know what I like.
That's fair.
I've seen some decent-looking games. I don't know if there's
They-
enough for me to buy one yet, but
That's
Come-
exactly my point.
come Metroid Prime 4, though, I mean, my
Oh,
ass
man,
wants
I
to
can't
buy
wait for that one.
I love me some Metroid Prime 4.
They just
No
released
worries.
Metroid Prime.
Devil May Cry 1. It just got released on the Switch today. But it's like $20.
The whole reason I bought a Switch was for Pokemon. That's
I
it.
know.
All right,
only
so okay. Finish your thought.
I was saying the only thing I care about in the new Pokemon is Scottish Pokemon Trainer, and Nessa is pretty fine. I'm just throwing it around. Those are the two. I'm basically in it for the waifu.
What about the Corgi?
The Corgi. What Corgi?
There's a
With
Corgi
Vulpix.
Pokemon.
What is this thing called?
Yamper.
Yamper.
Yeah.
Let us look at this Corgi Pokemon named Yamper. That is a Corgi Pokemon.
It's straight up just a Corgi.
It's a corgi.
It's fucking
like,
great.
I feel like Pokemon's just running out of ideas these days. It's like pretty soon they're just gonna be like, "Hey, here's Sandwich Chan."
Have they done
I
a
mean,
sandwich yet?
No, they haven't done a sandwich. They've done keys.
They've done ice
literal
cream.
trash. They've
They've-
done ice cream.
They've done ice cream. That was 5th gen, though. 5th gen was a weird time.
Ice cream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vanillux, Vanillite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
5th gen was a weird time.
It
They
was
also had a
weird.
sword in that gen. Like, all the Pokemon in
And
that gen were
Sasha.
really fucking weird.
Yeah, they were very literal. It's like, this is a fucking sword. What do you want from us? It's a fucking sword.
Dead by
How
Daylight.
much furry shit do you think we can make? Damn it. There's only so many OCs out there.
True. Moving on, so we don't turn into a Pokemon stream and explain all the Pokemon that Dark doesn't know.
It's
Exist.
all but Gen 1.
Exactly. Let's get on to our topic, which is Dead by Daylight. And I am not an expert in Dead by Daylight, which is why Dark is here.
Dead by Daylight? That sounds like an interesting game. Tell me more.
See, we actually invited Dark because he's not streaming Dead by Daylight, and we wanted to get Dead by Daylight out of him.
Okay. So what do you guys want to talk about on the topic of games that are Dead by Daylight.
I'm proud of you, Allie. Well, what do we enjoy about the game? We'll start
Murder.
there. Murder. I mean, that's fair.
Myers.
Yes, you and your like obsession with Mike Myers. You make like I feel like Mike Myers is uncomfortable around. He's like this lady's creeping me out.
There's a reason. Okay, so the first horror I ever watched was Halloween, and mind you, I was in high school. Because I don't like horror movies.
That was the first one you watched?
Yep.
That's weird.
Yeah, I watched it in high school on a backpacking trip in a lounge that was very dark and creepy, with a bunch of high school kids who also were backpacking. It was a time.
I don't appreciate you stereotyping me, Glitch.
How dare you? How dare you do this?
Let's see what I enjoy about Dead by Daylight besides just hurting people, squishing their dreams in front of them. The other thing I enjoy about the game is the strategic element, in the sense that it's very much a game of two competing plans. Any moment, like for instance, if you're chasing somebody, am I chasing this person because I'm gonna fuck them up? Or am I chasing them because this is what they want me to do while their friends are all doing something in the background? And it's very much an angle of competing strategies that goes on in the game. It can be very dynamic and fast-paced, and Killer can be stressful in that regard because you have 4 people working against you and you're one person who's just got to screw up everything they're doing. But at the same time, that fast-paced engagement makes
Get your blood pumping.
And you get to crush them because it's like they one moment they're sitting there clicking their flashlight and they don't feel so clever once they're on the hook.
Unless they're Jay.
Unless they're Jay.
Jay will find a way to make that part of his plan.
He'll somehow flash the flashlight while on the hook. And you're like, you can't do that. That's not even in the game.
Watch me.
Hey now, don't be mean to Jay. Okay, Moon, what is your fondness of DVD really good to?
Well, I like that they incorporate a lot of different horror characters. Like this is probably the only game that has so many different horror characters in one. And it's not too hard to get a handle of. And get your blood pumping.
It has a very low entry point, I feel.
Yeah. There is
like, just to casually play, like it's very like
there is a learning curve to it, but you can still play and have good games without being like super elite.
You can enjoy it with a low entry point, you know, like
unlike Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I definitely agree that the low ranks of DVD are very beginner friendly because it's like anyone who is decent at the game has long since moved past them.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go below a certain rank. So like when you get to those low ranks, it's just like you're dealing with potatoes 90% of the time. Yeah, I could certainly agree to that. And also on the topic of it having, it's pretty much like Super Smash Brothers for like slashers, except for Jason. But right now it's like the game's not looking worse for not having Jason. Jason's looking bad for not being in DVD.
Pretty much. It's like he's that guy that's like, I don't want to hang out with you guys, and everybody's like, come on, Jason, don't be like that.
Fun fact, I was looking at Switch games today, and Friday the 13th is like going to be on the Switch for like $49, and I was like, why?
What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I was like, what? Why?
What the fuck?
It's so expensive. It's high in price. It was high enough in price where I was like, oh my god, why?
I didn't even know it was going to be on there, but they can't charge that much for that game. Come on.
It's up there.
They might get some kids who don't know better.
True.
It's like I can see that, like you go to school, all your friends are playing DVD, and it's like, hey guys, I got Friday the 13th.
Oh shit, you messed up, kid.
That's good.
Dang it, Stanley. You're always buying like Brawlhalla when we all got Smash.
Yeah, it's pre-order for $39.99.
What the heck, no.
Yeah. How much is DVD going to be on Switch? Do we know that?
I would assume it's just a normal price. How much is DVD usually?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Allie says, Nintendo, what the fuck are you doing?
Switch. Dead by Daylight on the Switch has no price yet.
It's most likely standard
Oh,
Dead by Daylight price. Okay.
Okay. So they trying to launch on par with the big boys, are they?
See, here's the problem.
Such a big stage makes me
Oh, thanks for the
nervous.
host, Night. So, freaking Friday the 13th barely has anyone that's actually playing it. It's so hard to get in a match. So how are they going to do that on the Switch?
Spooky.
I mean, I guess there's the whole people who have a Switch and don't have other things angle.
I guess.
I definitely don't think it has the infamy that would warrant such an old game to have such a price tag just based on a re-release. So I don't think that they're being wise to not try to work that discount to get some competition with Dead by Daylight. But
Unless they're offering some new stuff on the Switch version, which I don't think they are, but I don't know. I'm not a Friday the 13th connoisseur.
yeah, it's like, you do you guys, you do you. Of course, there's that one person in our group who lives and dies by the Friday the 13th. So
Oh, poor
some
Kai.
people like that.
Someday we'll get Kai on our side.
Someday, I'll have to let him get Hatch.
Well, Dark, you play a lot of Dead by Daylight, more than myself at the very least. Probably around the same as Moon, maybe a little more. We were just kind of wondering, like, what would if I'm trying to think of a way to phrase this. I'm not very good with
Yes.
the words. So as if I was someone who was completely new to the
What are you
game,
doing?
what would
What
you
are you
recommend
doing?
as like player's first killer?
Player's first killer. Oh god, that's so easily Wraith.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who haven't played this game,
Really,
it
Wraith?
would be really helpful if you played this game.
We'd enjoy if you did.
Yeah, I think most of the people here are at least somewhat familiar with it. Wraith is a very simple killer. He has the ability to turn invisible by ringing a little bell and turn visible. He can only hit you if he's visible. He's a very simple killer, but at low levels, it just fucks with people so much that they can't see him.
I suck at Wraith.
Wraith he's not strong at a higher level because he can surprise people to an extent, but he has a very simplified chase. He does once he's revealed, he doesn't have anything to help him down you quickly, which means that he can't put pressure onto survivors. He doesn't have what's called map pressure. Map pressure is a concept we'll get into later because it's kind of interesting and a little bit long-winded. But yeah, basically he can annoy the one person who's running him, but that person's going to get to run him for a while, and while they're running him, his friends are going to get gens done. So yeah, he's a simple character that will help you get the essentials down. That's the main thing about Wraith.
I feel like Billy would be a good starting character. I mean, that's who I started on.
Billy, I would say, Billy can be very advanced depending on how you use him.
That's true.
I mean, it wouldn't be like the worst character to use. He has a lot of mobility. You probably wouldn't be able to utilize like the stronger stuff at an early level.
I mean, I know I couldn't.
Yeah, it's like, but you could do similar things. Instead of the trade-off with Wraith would be that the majority of things that like lower level people would probably use Billy for would just be the fact that he runs super fast when he pulls out his chainsaw, so they could bounce between generators quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
I started with Wraith, so
Yeah,
I like Doctor. He has no good characteristics.
well, I know that now that I've played a little bit more, I main Myers mostly just for love, but also because I'm actually pretty decent with him. And I know Moon, you like Spirit, right?
I do. I use her more than anyone else, really. But I do love Freddy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Freddy. Freddy's forgettable.
Freddy's still my main.
Moon forgot about Freddy till he gets that rework.
I didn't forget about him. He's just on the back burner.
And this is Dark's opportunity to talk about his favorite character.
I mean, if I had to choose one,
It's Hag, isn't it?
It's so hag.
it's totally Legion, the fastest boy. He is an edgy teenager boy who runs around the map hitting people, and when he hits people with his special ability, he can see where everyone else is on the map, and he can run up to them and hit them too, and he basically has to bounce between them all, and whenever he hits you, you have to run off to the corner and heal yourself, and you can't do shit. If you leave yourself alone, you're gonna bleed out and die.
He sounds great.
Or at least go into dying status where you can't do anything. So, yes, Legion is my boy. Everyone hates him, and it hurts my feelings because they don't like that they have to run away and heal. And I feel like that's part of why I like him, is because I can feel the stress when I hit them, the annoyance they feel.
It's not you as Legion I hate. It's Legions that will hit you into that, like, do the frenzy, hit you, and then follow you still instead of going and bouncing off of other people, going to get the other people.
Now,
That's what bothers me.
You see, Legion, there's very much a Legion is the application of his ability isn't necessarily technically demanding, like for instance Billy, where you have to line up a really good shot to get it to work. In Legion's case, you can't miss, but it's not as hard to line up. The thing with Legion is it's a lot of decision making of, do I pursue this person I just hit, or do I try to compound the damage I'm doing to their team by going off to chase somebody else and risk the fact that I may not make it to that person before I run out of frenzy? So there is reasons to do that, but there's also really stupid Legion players who just don't think about that. So yeah, there's certainly the Legion that you're referring to that just like wants to go straight for one person at a time because they don't understand what they're doing.
Yeah, that's just playing badly, really. You shouldn't tunnel as Legion.
I hate tunneling in general, though. Because it's always me. I die first.
As a killer main, I have no problem tunneling if they make it available. It's not wise to go out of your way for tunneling as a killer, because it'll make you pass up opportunities to do damage in other ways. But if somebody's not necessarily being a smart player and they make themselves open, it's certainly beneficial to you to get somebody out early in the game.
Yeah, if they're just there, I'm going to get them. Like,
Oh,
I'm not gonna like, oh, I shouldn't tunnel you. Let me just walk away.
No. It's more of they get me down, I get off the hook, and then I get away, and they're like they have the choice between two, and they keep coming for me. It's like,
That's fair.
See, that's really like I feel like that's something that you'll get a lot at low ranks because higher rank people will know better. Because they've been implementing a lot of things lately that had incentivized you to go off the person who is saving the person rather than the person being saved. Like for instance, you have the perk Borrowed Time, which when you're on the hook, if you get somebody off, then if the killer hits the person that got rescued, they get a free extra hit that doesn't down them right away. And then you have Decisive Strike now, which has been altered. So now it works so if they down you, within a minute of you getting off the hook, you can break out of their grasp for free and keep running. So they've actually implemented a lot of disincentives to tunnel. And I think that's actually positively impacted the meta of the game, because now even if that person's not running that perk as a killer, I wonder, are they running that perk? And as such, it's a much safer option for me to go after the person who's doing the rescuing.
Yeah, I barely ever go after the person who just got unhooked because I'm like, okay, they probably have Decisive, or they just got hit with Borrowed Time or something like that. It's more beneficial to go for the other person. The only time I go after that person is if I can't find the other one.
Yeah, it's like if there's a lot of Survivor is about making yourself not an attractive option. And that's sort of like what comes to it. It's like those factors are things that discourage me, but if you don't run away from me promptly, or if you're acting like an idiot, that might encourage me to go after you anyway.
maybe I'm just a bad DVD player.
Brew, that wasn't a friendly match. What are you talking about?
I was gonna say, by the way, chat, if we say something that's a little bit above like your understanding of Dead by Daylight, please ask questions. Like, we will answer them.
Yes.
Or attempt to.
And Glitch, I just want you to know that I didn't overlook you saying that you would hate Legion on Goth's behalf. I will remember this, Glitch, and I will tunnel you.
Or else I refuse, or else I won't stop asking. What question? Oh.
Oh. Okay. All right. So we're noises.
True.
I like playing Doctor because it annoys the hell out of survivors.
Fuck Doctor.
He's okay. I don't want to be a condescending asshole.
No, but here it comes.
Yeah. Um, so I guess if you're not very good at the game, Doctor can seem like a challenging killer to go against. So yeah, the deal with Doctor is that he has a lot of things that will throw you off. Like he can move the skill check zone on your screen.
Yeah, that thing's annoying.
He can reveal. He can like track you very easily with a lot of different abilities. But the thing is, and the thing that makes and breaks killers in this game is their ability to chase. Because regardless of if you track people perfectly, if you're not downing them carefully, then it doesn't change the fact that the other 3 people you're not chasing are doing generators.
I just take pleasure in the fact that I'm annoying the fuck out of the survivors.
You don't care about killing all of them.
No, when I play Doctor, I don't care if I get all of them. I just want to annoy them.
Yeah.
I just want to stare at people when I'm Myers.
Myers just wants to hang out. That's all it is.
Smallows.
Smallest.
What?
Sorry.
I don't
He
know.
likes to camp.
Oh, I got you.
Smallows.
I've never heard Smallows, but I can sort of get the marshmallow s'more-ish feel out of
Smalllows?
that word. That's odd because I have no idea what that word is, but I immediately interpret it as some variation of s'more.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Why is it
Smalllows.
small? What? Nobody says that.
Is that a camp thing? That might be a camp
What the
thing.
heck is a smallow?
It's a s'more marshmallow.
So a s'more?
Marshmallow?
A s'more marshmallow.
What? Like the marshmallow? What? You make a s'more and then you take the marshmallow out and then
No,
just
like
eat that?
it's the marshmallow that's cooked that you're gonna put in your s'more.
That's just a roasted marshmallow.
That's a smallow.
I'm just gonna let this happen.
It's a legit thing. Is
What?
it not?
A smallow? It's not small.
Anyway, let's not talk about how Gotha spent 10 years of her life at camp.
Okay.
Now I want marshmallows.
Glitch just
Fuck.
wants Bunny Senpai. Oh, Glitch. That's a
Yes,
shame.
Glitch!
He didn't. I'm English and even I know. This is my Glitch voice. No, I can do the Jon Snow-ish voice, but I can't quite do it as well as Glitch can. But yes, Glitch just wants Bunny Senpai. There was a cosplayer of Bunny Senpai on the anniversary stream.
There was.
She was-
It's pretty good.
I immediately thought Glitch.
Alright, so, Walchan.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry. So you obviously play killer all the time. And you obviously play around with these guys a lot more than a lot of other people do. I guess I just want to start with since Legion is your boy, what is a good set of perks for him?
Okay, a good set of perks for Legion. So, Legion as a character is all about slowing the game down. He can chase you, but he's no better than most killers in the actual chase outside of the first segment, where he obviously has elevated speed because of his ability that lets him run faster and vault faster. So in general, the application of his abilities, it's pretty much built into his normal base kit. So what you want to do to sort of help that is you want to minimize how aware the survivors are of you, and also maximize your ability to track them down. So what I usually do for that is I run Monitor and Abuse. Monitor and Abuse is a perk that outside of chases, it reduces your terror radius, the range to which people can hear you, by 8 meters. So you can get closer to survivors before they know you're coming. Now, why this is really important for Legion is because when people hear you coming, they're going to break up. Legion doesn't want that, because the further you get away from each other, the harder it's going to be for me to bounce between people, and therefore I'm going to have a lesser chance of successfully applying my ability. So by running that perk, I can... What is it?
Is Monitor and Abuse a specific killer perk, or is it just a general perk?
It is a teachable perk. It's Doctor's perk.
Okay.
So yeah, and there's a double side to that, though. I would say Legion probably gets the best use of any killer out of Monitor and Abuse. And the reason is because Legion, on one hand, benefits from getting close before the chase starts and getting hopefully multiple people closer together. But also, once you're in a chase with Monitor and Abuse, it expands your radius by 8 meters. So what this means is that when I'm coming up to them, I only have a 24-meter radius. But when I actually start chasing, I have a 40-meter radius. And the reason that matters is once you get the first hit when you're in Legion's special ability, Feral Frenzy, is anyone inside your terror radius, you can see where they are. So that expanded radius not only helps me get the drop on them in the early phase, but then I can track them well after. So that is, I would say, one of the best Legion perks by far. If there's one perk for Legion, I would suggest that one.
Wait, so the Killer Instinct is based on your terror radius?
Yeah, Killer Instinct, he has add-ons that will let it extend beyond his terror radius, but standardly Killer Instinct, the ability that lets you see people once you hit the first person, that is inside of your terror radius.
Okay.
So yeah, that is definitely my favorite perk for Legion. I don't only play Legion, but Legion is definitely my boy.
I still need to get Monitor and Abuse on Spirit.
Yeah, Monitor and Abuse is very good on Spirit as well. Honestly, I like Monitor and Abuse on most killers. In general, killers with a smaller terror radius, like Spirit, who has a 24-meter radius, she can benefit really heavily from that as well, because it'll reduce her radius outside of Chase to 16 meters, which is really small. That's half of Legion's base terror radius. Now, what you could do, a very popular meme build with Spirit, is to run a perk called Surveillance alongside Monitor and Abuse. So Surveillance, what it does is anytime you see a survivor work in a generator, you see a generator that has work on it, and you hit it, it gets highlighted in white on your screen. And if somebody touches it, it turns yellow for like 8 seconds. So you know when somebody comes back to a generator to work on it. Now, you can hear a generator from about, I would say 12 meters roughly. But it also, Surveillance also increases the distance you can hear it by 8 meters.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that means you can hear a generator being worked on for about 20 meters. Which, again, I'm sorry, earlier I meant you can hear it being worked on by 12 meters away. So that means that you can get close enough to hear them working on the generator before they can hear you coming. Not only letting you know that they recently got back on the gen, but they are still on that gen. And even if you didn't hit it, you'll still be able to tell if they're on the gen before they can hear you. Now, you add that to the fact that Spirit has the ability to phase, which is basically turn invisible and sort of, from their perspective, teleport. You're just moving faster on your screen, but it looks like you basically teleport. And you can basically teleport to them on top of the generator very easily and grab them off the generator and get yourself an instant down that way. So,
which is very, very satisfying.
It is. And plus, you know that it's like the scariest fucking thing in the game to do that shit.
Yeah.
Pig is the killer that has Surveillance, by the way, bro.
Right. That's a really good one.
The only I didn't write down what I use as Mike Myers because I didn't have time to, but I do know that I use Play with My Food, and that's about it.
Okay. Let's see. Play with Your Food is a perk that it's not the best perk.
Hey.
It's not completely unusable. It can just it can randomly help you because it gives you a 5% increase to speed, which is pretty big. That's like the slowest killer in the game, well, second slowest killer, and the fastest killer have a 5% difference in movement speed. So, I mean, that's a decent difference right there. And you can get up to 15% if you stack it, which you get stacks for Play with Your Food by letting the Obsession, a specifically marked character every match, escape a chase from you. Let's see.
I also use the one that, like, I can't remember the name of it, but I think it's one of... Okay, me and perks. I don't really understand how they work, so I just use what I think is best and hope it works. Which is how Play with Your Food is the thing I use. The other one I use, I know for sure, is the one that like makes it harder for survivors to wiggle away. And like I don't know what it's called, but I use it.
I think that's.
Sorry, I mean you go ahead.
I forgot the name. It's like on the tip of my tongue.
Iron Grasp.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah. Iron Grasp is a good perk. It's not necessarily like a perk that's good for everything, but if you find yourself in a shitty situation, it can certainly bail you out sometimes.
I used to use that in Billy a lot.
Yeah. It also, let's see here. Walk in the burning house saying, "This is fine." That's my mind trying to make sense of what you're saying.
That was beautiful.
That was glorious.
Yeah, it can also make the basement more viable. Like the Iron Grasp is used a lot in combination with agitation. I'm coming for you. No, I'm coming for you. Oh, God.
I like it because it pisses people off that they can't get away from me. And
I
plus,
mean, sorry.
and plus, I have a hard time finding hooks because I'm really bad at the game. So like, it gives me more time to find them.
I mean, part of Killer. Here's the arc for Killers. First, it goes, "Oh, I'll get to be a big bad horror killer. Cool," and then it goes through a progressive period of abuse by survivors that will troll you to no end, and then that is how you find power as the killer, because that contempt will fuel you and make you stronger. And
It's
that
true.
is
I'm a Freddy man. I know.
Yes, he knows more than anyone. You know what they're like.
And I play nurse on console.
God, fucking nurse on console. You're so insistent on that. I'm just like, this is not a good idea. It's fine. Sometimes.
I actually enjoyed it. I usually don't get 4K, so it happened a couple times, but it's fun.
Okay.
Once you get past the
So
whole.
much contempt.
What makes you happy, Moon?
I
But yes.
don't know, man. We could play Cannibal for you.
Oh my God, fuck it.
Fuck no.
Okay, guys, you want to talk DVD? You want to talk the worst character in DVD?
Oh God, it's
Most
pizza
lazy-
time.
Lazy piece of crap. Whoever made him should be fired. Cannibal. It is stupid. I cannot wrap my. Okay, so here's the deal with Cannibal. He is a very basic killer. Just standard hits, whatever. His special ability, the thing that defines him as a killer, is that if he holds the charge button for 2 seconds, he can whip out his chainsaw after moving slower during that time, I might add. At which point he will flail it around side to side. If he bumps into anything, he will stop immediately and swing around randomly for about 4 seconds, giving the survivor ample time to get away from you. And if he hits them, they go down instantly.
Jesus, this fucking pizza time is ridiculous.
Can't hear like the pizza. I don't have the screen ready. So.
Alright, that's.
Yeah.
Okay, should I just wait?
Yes.
Don't worry, I turned you up like a million.
Okay. So, the problem with him is that, first off, the ability to like hug a survivor's ass for like 2 seconds or maybe a little more isn't that good, because during that time where you're walking up to the survivor, they're going to be looking for something to vault over and get distance between you. So it's very easy to get away from him. And the one thing his ability is good for, one thing, is to camp. His only way to get a consistent way of landing that chainsaw is to stand next to somebody on hook and wait for somebody dumb enough to try to save them.
That's
Keep
very
in
true.
mind, the developers discourage you to camp. They don't want you to camp. They have all these perks against camping, and you actively lose points for camping. I think it's a pretty firm way of them saying, hey, don't do that. But then they decide, you know what? Let's make a character whose only redeeming quality is his ability to camp.
I've opened.
Cannibal is so bad. It's
I've
ridiculous.
released the Kraken.
I hate that motherfucker.
Billy is the better.
Billy is like Cannibal if Cannibal could do things that were useful.
It's funny because they made Billy. He was supposed to be there standing for Leatherface. And then they got Leatherface and they're like, what the fuck do we do now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If any character, I desperately think they need to rework Leatherface. He encourages really bad play styles, and he has
does.
nothing to validate himself outside of that shitty play style.
Hag does camp, like her strong suit is camping too.
I wouldn't say her strong suit is that, but it's something she's good at. But the thing with Hag is it's not necessarily that the that she necessarily has to camp. It's that she can lay those traps around you, and that means that you have to crouch walk away, which is substantially slower, giving her more time to get to you after you've been on hook.
That's true.
Could
Most people don't even crouch when they run to the hook either.
Oh yeah, you have the fucking beast mode people who are just like, I'm gonna fuck these traps up. So those of you who don't know, Hag has the ability to basically place traps on the ground. If you run over the trap, if you crouch over it, it doesn't do anything. But if you run over the trap, it pops up a little clone of her that she can teleport to. Actually, you know, the best thing about Hag, her strongest suit, is her ability to negate loops.
That's true.
I wonder if we should bring out the screen share yet, so I can do a snazzy drawing for you guys.
We can if you want.
Do it.
Okay, guys. I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready for some art, because you're about to get some art. Yeah. Okay. You think I'm not ready? You think? Where the hell's the thing? Okay, here, applications. Okay, you think I'm not ready, but guess what? I am. Okay, you see this white page? Let me know when you see the white page.
Hold on, I gotta.
Moon is mooning.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, do you see my cursor? Yes, you see my cursor.
Yes, beautiful.
Okay. So let's say we have. This is a border. It doesn't matter what kind. This is another border. This is a palette. So what a survivor will do, S for slutty survivor, probably a short skirt mag, I hate that, is they will run around this way. And you're the killer, so you're on this side. And you're running after him. Now, gradually you will catch up to them because you do move faster than them. But when they do that, when they see you doing that, they're just going to go over this fucking pallet. And like right when you're here, this is killer now. Killer got some legs. But yeah, you go over that, and then you're a whole length away from them. So they're on this side now, and you're on this side. So that just pretty much resets the loop. Hag, on the other hand, okay, we're gonna clear this real quick. We're gonna clear this. Boop boop. Let this be a little longer.
This loop looks like Freddy's map. Not gonna lie.
I could see that. So now, let's say I'm a Hag.
Yes, you are.
What are you writing?
Alpha, because Hag is alpha.
Oh, okay.
At loops. And this stupid survivor, they're like, oh, you dumb Hag, I'm coming this way, and I'm going to go over this pallet, because you're going to be like right around here by the time I'm going over the pallet. And you're just going to have to continue this loop forever. But Hag's like, oh, really? You think so, motherfucker? Well, I laid a trap right here. And because of that, you're going to go on to that. Hag is then going to teleport to the opposite side where you are now and smack you in your ass. Okay, that is all for screen share for now. There will be more dark art as time goes on, though.
That's beautiful.
Loved it.
So yes, that is probably Hag's best thing, because survivors use loops to drag on the game. That's like their biggest, almost only tool. So she has a very strong power to negate that if you plan correctly. Okay. All right.
Bruce says he never sees Hags do that.
You never see Hags do that? You don't play good Hags.
There you go. That's the simple truth of it.
All right. So Dead by Daylight recently just got a new character added.
Did he now?
Yes.
Did he? Dead by
Did
Daylight's a he.
Yes. His name is Danny Jedelson Johnson.
Well, that's a stupid name. I ain't buying him.
Only he had a cooler name that he went by.
Or the Ghostface.
Now that's
I forgot there's a "the" to it. He's
I-
the Ghostface. It's like the Batman, the Ghostface.
a Batman. Ghostface.
He has a really long backstory, by the way.
I would like a dramatic reading, please.
It's
You can
really
do it. I believe in you.
All right. Danny Johnson, known as Jed Olson by some, grabbed the newspaper from the kitchen counter. It was a week old, but his face was on the front page, grainy and sunken. It was one of those muggy Florida afternoons when heat and humidity permeated everything in the kitchen, making him sweat while standing still. He slouched in a damp chair to read. This article had better be good. His work in Roseville had been outstanding. June 18th, 1993. At first glance, Jed Olson was a modest and enthusiastic freelancer with experience in a variety of small newspapers. The staff at the Roseville Gazette appreciated how easygoing and honest he seemed, and so he was treated as a stranger for no more than 5 minutes into his interview. Jed quickly spotted the editor-in-chief in the room, gave him a wide smile and a firm handshake, and talked about good old American values. And that was it. He was in. Olson never justified his erratic career path with zigzag between several small towns from Utah to Pennsylvania. There was no verification of his previous jobs. He had a decent portfolio plus a good attitude, and they needed a contributor right away.
Ghostface.
Olson had been working at the newspaper for 5 months when the Roseville murders began. Victims from young to old stabbed to death in their homes. From the reports, the victims were chosen at random. Yeah, the killer knew his way around in the houses. The multiple stab wounds indicated a personal motive. No traces of DNA were found. The local police were confounded. The murders were carried with a fury akin to a crime of passion, yet coldly premeditated. The murderer also liked to stalk his targets. 2 victims had reported being followed on their way home by a dark figure a few days prior to their death. The killer would follow them from Walleyes, a small bar in northern Roseville, and snap pictures of them at home while looking for a way in. He could watch the same victim for weeks, meticulously registering their habits and routines. When he felt the urge to kill, he'd visit the most vulnerable victim on his list and break inside the house quietly.
Shia LaBeouf.
The whole staff worked on the Roseville murder story. Olson was often sent to interview the family of victims and relay official statements from the police, unknown to everyone at the time. His involvement added to the body count. Panic swelled in Roseville when Olson produced footage of a hooded figure breaking into a house at night. The masked face, a white blur in the dark, stared at the camera for a second before disappearing inside. The ghost face caught on tape was the resulting article written by Olson. He seemed proud of his work at the time, enjoying how the whole town feared his ghost stories. Weeks later, Olson left a note on his work desk and disappeared. I hope you liked my stories. I enjoyed bringing them to life. Don't worry, I'm not done. The Roseville law enforcement still refuses to comment as Jed Olson remains at large. Danny smiled, ripping out the article out from the newspaper. When the investigation had been pointed to him, he'd packed his bags and left Roseville swiftly. He got up, the clammy seat pulling his skin. An oppressive humidity engulfed him as he entered the bedroom. Condensation dripped on a small, misted-up window as bits of cracked wallpaper hung limply. Its floral pattern was covered with gruesome photos and newspaper headlines. Danny pinned the week-old article on top of a picture of lacerated scalps. A faint pang of hunger hit him, and he wondered when he had eaten last. Was it this morning while washing his knife and clothes? Or was it last night after following that girl down the street? He couldn't remember clearly. Taking a step back, he admired his work on the wall. His mind drifted, remembering all the articles he'd written, the stories he'd planned, and the scenes he'd brought to life. A shiver ran through him. A chilling breeze transformed the bedroom's humidity into an opaque, freezing fog. A woman shrieked. Dead leaves crunched under his feet. He smiled in anticipation.
The Ghostface.
Also, the picture they have for Ghostface on the site is spectacular, and I'm sending it now because it's great.
Let's see here. Oh yeah,
Let's
that
see
is a
this.
pretty good one. So basically, for those of you who didn't follow all the way, he's a journalist who gets off on his own murders.
Beautiful.
Cool guy like that.
I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
Glitch demands an actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. He could be just like a cannibal costume.
Shia LaBeouf.
No,
I feel like he'd be more trapper.
I don't know. I feel like he could do Legion too, because he's all about chasing bitches, all
That's
crazy
true.
style.
But
Okay, so we
his
need a new
leg,
killer.
it's caught in
He's
a
just
bear trap.
Trapper Legion.
Trapper Legion. That could work.
As long as they have the Shia LaBeouf theme constantly playing while he's killer.
There is not a survivor who came with Ghostface. They had Ash Williams come out a little bit earlier. I mean, some people are like mad because he didn't get a survivor. The way I see it is like Ash came out first and we didn't get a killer with him, so I feel like it was just.
It was justified.
I think it's a
Yeah.
good balance.
I think it was. I look at it as more delayed than anything. I don't really see it as a big deal. So
Like
tell
I wish
me-
we got a killer with Ash, but
Yeah. They've also been doing like a lot of reworks lately. Like Ash came out around the same time as Endgame Collapse, which is probably the best
Oh,
thing that's happened
yeah.
to this game in a very long
Long
time.
time. Yeah, it was
it
great.
is so good. No
Fuck
more hatch
Ash, though.
standoffs. It's beautiful.
Why don't you
Okay.
like Ash? Goth?
Because he's cocky asshole every time he comes on screen.
That's just him.
That's true though.
I don't like it.
We
But
still gotta
most-
watch those movies.
What are those movies?
Evil Dead.
Oh.
He's from the TV show, but we don't have to watch that.
Well, if you play Huntress Brew, it makes sense that you don't necessarily have an easy time finding hatches because she's two things that don't make her good for finding things. She's slower movement speed, and she has no special movement ability. Most characters who have slower movement speed have something to augment that. Like for instance, Legion used to be the same speed as Huntress, and he had Feral Frenzy. Spirit has her little teleports. So, yeah,
I think he means
Huntress-
Doctor though.
Also, Huntress is not a Hufflepuff, therefore she is not a good finder.
What?
It was a Harry Potter joke.
Okay, yeah,
Please.
Doc has no excuse. He's just as good as anyone else. Although Doc can avoid the hatch fairly easy because he's very good at slugging, since he can locate people easily. So he can just down somebody and then locate the final survivor.
Glitch appreciates my jokes.
I'm glad he does because I totally missed it. So tell me
It is a Harry
about the
Potter joke.
Ghostface guys. I have never heard of this character before.
I have not played a single round as Ghostface, and I am sorry.
He a sneaky boy. He do the thing.
I bought him.
I have observed him being a sneaky boy. I've
He
actually
he very sneaky.
he does do the sneaks. Let's talk about his perks if you guys want.
We should talk about his power first, probably.
Okay.
Y'all talk about what you want. I have not played Ghostface.
So his power is he basically stalks just like Myers. But when it instead of like tearing up like Myers does, he has like a build up on each survivor, and when it fills up, they go into exposed status, and he can just one shot them.
That is
And he can also crouch.
He has a lot of different abilities, honestly, that all play into one another. So his primary ability is Night Shroud. Night Shroud basically lets him lose his terror radius so nobody can hear him coming.
Forgot
Um,
about that.
Yeah, it's one of his better points. It lets him have a little bit more variety in what he's capable. Also, I guess I should start by explaining how killers look to the survivor because it's crucial with him. Your average killer, when a survivor looks at them, they have a glow that emits from the front of their body on the ground ahead of them for about, I'd say about 3 to 4 feet. And what this does is it lets a survivor know when you're going around a corner before they can actually see you. It lets them react, and that can help them in like looping things, knowing if you're trying to switch them up and like go the opposite direction. Here, you know what, guys? You thought that Darkwall art was over. You thought
Oh
wrong.
shit!
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, shit.
Here we go, guys. All right. So now, guys, we're gonna
Make
talk.
sure Moon has it up.
Okay, it's okay. I gotta draw some initial stuff here.
Oh, okay.
We should also mention he's from Scream. I don't know if everyone knows that.
Well, not officially, because
What do you mean not officially?
he's not officially from Scream.
Yeah, he is.
The
No,
character.
he's not.
Goth is technically right.
Thank you.
So the character, the mask is not officially Screams. The character is, but at the same time, they're not using that variant of the character. They're basically making their own Ghostface character that has no association to Scream.
That must have
Because
been the only way
that's
they could
from
get the
the-
licensing.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. The
I mean, that's
Ghostface
fair.
is not the killer from the Scream films, but rather an original character based on the masks of the franchise used for their killers. This is because the copyrights for the mask and for the films are entirely separate due to the films using a pre-existing character mask for their killer.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
so-
fine with that.
So, guys, I hope you're ready for more sick art. Look here.
Oh shit! Here we go. Is that a killer shack?
This is a killer shack. Good spot there. This is okay. So here's the legend here. These are they're like tall walls, so you can't see beyond them. Here you have a window. The survivor can vault through it to get away from you. You can vault through it too, but you move substantially slower than the survivor. And this is a pallet you can throw down, which basically becomes a window that you can use infinite times, but the killer can break. So I'm Survivor Chan. Oh no, Killer Sama. I saw him chase me. Look, Killer Sama is actually right here, but Survivor Sama can't see Killer Sama, or I'm sorry, Survivor Chan can't see Killer Sama. So Survivor has to choose, do I want to run through here and risk Killer getting too close for me to do anything? Or do I want to vault through this window? But what if Killer Sama is actually here? If I vault through this window, he'll hit me. So what do I do? Because if I just stand here until Killer's right here and then start to run, Killer's gonna hit me. So what I do, handy dandy, red glow emits from Killer Sama. So I'm sitting here, I can still see this red glow, just barely, but I can see it. The moment I see that glow, even though Killer's still all the way over here, I can run through this window, knowing that Killer is going to be coming through here. So it's basically an advanced warning. Now, the reason I bring that up is, and we're going to come back to this later, because there are some interesting things you can do with the glow. I'll go ahead and stop now. Is that Ghostface, when he uses his stealth ability, the ability that makes him have no terror radius, he loses that glow. So nobody can see that. That means that survivors have a harder time looping him. They don't have as much time to react, and he can sneak up on them in really good ways. So that is one of the strongest parts of his stealth. He does emit a whistling noise, like a sort of wind noise. It's fairly small in radius, but it's got a decent range. It's about a quarter of a regular terror radius. So that's a big thing for him. And also, crucial to the stalking ability. If you just try to use him like Myers, you're going to have a bad day. Because he takes 8 seconds to stalk you. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but survivors, if they stare at you during that time, will kick you out of stealth. And you'll have to wait 20 seconds before you can stalk again. So, what he has is the ability to lean around corners, which not only makes him harder to detect, they have to see a decent portion of your body to be able to detect you. But also, it cuts the timer in half, so he can stalk you in 4 seconds that way. So, that is one of the best ways you can stalk with people. Also, crouching, as Moon mentioned. Crouching can let you mind game around like shorter loops that are like a little bit over waist high, instead of loops that are, hey, look, car, fuck you. You're on my phone.
Yeah, car, get the fuck out of here.
Fuck you,
This ain't
car.
Cars 4.
So yeah, like he can sort of try to trick you as to what way he's going around a loop. With that ability as well, by crouching down. And in general, just makes him have an easier time approaching people and harder to detect. So yes, that is also one awesome ability that Ghostface has.
Also, he can teabag.
I was just about to mention teabagging.
That retaliatory teabagging is probably the most important part of playing Ghostface.
The only one that came close to that was Huntress. Or not Huntress, Saw Pig. I don't know why I was trying to call her a hunter.
I don't know.
Just
like,
'cause she
Pig, it's like
crouches?
she gives you a slow, sensual teabag. She's just like wants to get into the moment, where Ghostface is ready to go ham at any moment.
But cultural dancing teabag is my favorite.
Yes, that is
pretty
when I
great.
look up and down and spin around while I teabag and going, "Ay-ya, ay-ya, ay-ya."
It's my favorite thing, and I don't know why.
So, Ghostface, because of his ability, letting him have instant downs. By the way, stalking, I guess we didn't say that clearly. He can down you in one hit after he completes stalking you. But because of that, he's very good. Is a real ghost, not a face. You don't know that. Only his face is a ghost knight.
What if underneath his face is a ghost?
Well, then he's just spirit. What if
Oh,
underneath
shit,
his
you're right.
mask is spirit?
Whoa.
You just pull it back.
Like, wait, you guys didn't give us a new killer?
You just gave us that killer.
Oh god, I completely lost my train of thought though. Oh, he's very good at slugging. So one time I managed to slug 3 people, pull them into the basement.
Yeah.
And I just cultural danced around them all until they died.
That's
my
beautiful.
favorite.
It is pretty tasty, especially because they were teabagging me earlier in the game.
Mm.
That's the thing. It's like, it's not good when you just teabag for the fuck of it. It's retaliatory teabagging when they're having like when you're getting back at them. That's what makes it delicious.
Yum. Tea bags.
It's pretty great.
Okay, so
I think that's enough about his power.
okay,
We did talk about that for a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about his perks? Or should we go add-ons first?
We can go. I feel like perks would transition better.
Yeah.
Perkus! Let's go.
Okay, so perks. I will say that I think Ghostface actually has some really well synergized perks. And what I mean by that is that like a lot of the time when you get killers, like fucking Legion's perks don't synergize with Legion outside of one of them. Like one of them's like, oh, you hit people when they come out of lockers. And you get like a notification. I will have a good one, Glitch.
See you later, Glitch.
I'll hate you forever if you're not really here.
How dare you?
But in Ghostface's case, he's really well synergized with his perks.
He's not leaving.
I'm not leaving. Well, whatever, Glitch. I don't believe you anymore. So let's start with Ghostface's, I would say, arguably worst perk, Furtive Chase. Furtive Chase is an obsession perk, meaning there will be one survivor that will be the target of this every match.
Oh yeah, that's the one I like never used.
Yeah, I can see a few select circumstances to use this, but I'm not necessarily very enthusiastic about it. So what happens is every time you hook your obsession, you get a stack towards this perk. It gets powered up. Every stack gets you 4 meters lower on your terror radius while you are in a chase. That's the big thing, while you're in a chase. And anytime somebody rescues the obsession from a hook, they become the obsession. So it sort of like passes on between a bunch of people throughout the match. Reason I don't think this is a good perk is that it's got a use, it's just very unreliable. So here's what I think the idea is this perk. And this is still well synergized for Ghostface, but I don't necessarily like it. My thought is Ghostface is a slugging killer. He's about taking a lot of people down really fast. You can stalk somebody to like 99% and then like get a stalk on them real quick, which I'll cover later, and like down somebody like nothing. So, I think the goal of this is to be chasing somebody and get close to another person as you're downing them without them realizing you're that close. That's where I think they're going. The thing is, that's not a reliable thing. I mean, that might happen sometimes, and you may get lucky and notice them and be able to capitalize on it, but it's not necessarily something that I think is going to be reliable enough to be worth a perk slot.
Then you have to be constantly paying attention to who is the obsession now.
Yeah, it also... Obsession perks are dicey like that in general, because they force you to focus on somebody, and in general, as killer, you want to be always free to pursue the most beneficial opportunity to you.
Right.
You want to cover in these, Moon?
I don't have them pulled up.
Okay, I'll cover the rest of them. Next perk we have is I'm All Ears. Now, again, this synergizes great with Ghostface. What I'm All Ears does is it's once every 40 seconds. If a survivor fast vaults or does any kind of rushed action, like exiting a locker real fast or whatever, and they're within 48 meters of you, you can see their aura for 6 seconds. This is helpful for looping because, again, you can't see Ghostface's red stain. You don't have a tear radius. The survivor in many loops is robbed of any info they have to sort of determine where you are without having direct eye shot of you. So because of that, they can't see you, but you can see them during the loop. And as such, you can move to meet them somewhere, and they won't even... It basically lets you close that loop and sort of bump into them very easily. So that's a pretty good perk. I would say overall, I would give it like maybe a B or a C tier. It's not the best perk in the world, but it's useful. On Ghostface, I could see it being like B+ to maybe A-. And then probably my favorite of his is Thrilling Tremors.
I do really like this one.
Yeah, Thrilling Tremors, you can only use it once every 60 seconds, which is kind of rough. Is
Ghostface invisible? No, he's not.
No, he okay, so Knight, I don't know if you've ever played Dead by Daylight, so I'll explain it. every killer in Dead by Daylight emits what's called a terror radius, which is like a little heartbeat noise that gets louder the closer you get to them. Ghostface's ability makes it so he doesn't emit that, so nobody knows when he's about to show up. It lets him sneak up on you. Anyways, Thrilling Tremor, once every 60 seconds, when you pick up a downed survivor, all of the generators will be blocked off if a survivor is not working on them actively. They'll also be highlighted in white. That means for 16 seconds, no one can start any of those gens that weren't being touched. And you can tell by the ones that aren't highlighted in white which generators are being worked on during that time. So you hook the person, and then you have the chance, or you could leave them on the ground, because again, Ghostface is good at slugging, which is basically downing multiple people before hooking them. And you know exactly where to go, where there is somebody doing something. And this is especially good if you use a non-Ghostface perk called Pop Goes the Weasel. Pop Goes the Weasel is a clown perk. What it does is after you hook somebody, you have a time where you can walk up to a generator, and if you kick it, instead of just making it regress, you make it go back 25% progress. So it can really help you delay the game and get you into a chase fast. And yes, this is Ghostface. He is a ghosty boy, as you can see.
He's a pretty boy.
He's a pretty boy. Well, there you go. And there you can see the red glow that he loses when he goes into stealth mode. Okay, so those are Ghostface perks.
I couldn't find a good list of his add-ons.
I have his add-ons pulled up. They're on the wiki.
Oh, okay.
I'm familiar with most of them. Most of his add-ons are about moving faster while crouching, not having to stalk somebody as long to get them into one-shot status. Let's see. You have one that like makes him recover faster. They're fairly generic add-ons. Oh, one other thing about his ability is if somebody breaks you out of stealth, you can see where that person is who broke you out of stealth for a couple, like a second or two. And
it's
this is
the same thing as Legion's Killer Instinct.
Exactly, but it's really short. Now, the thing that's really good about that is, say we're late game and somebody's trying to hide from me, I'll do that on purpose. I'll go into stealth where I think they'll see me, and then it tells you what direction the person is looking at you from. So you can try to get in somebody's field of view. Just move around a lot. Try to like make them move if you can have a guess at where they are. And if they start to spot you, start to detect you, you can go ahead and just find out where they are fairly easily. It points you right to them. So yeah, that's, let's see, one of the abilities or add-ons he has makes it harder to detect him. Another makes the little like indicator last a little longer. His iridescent add-ons, one of them makes it so that when leaning, you detect or you expose people super fast.
Oh, that's a good one. I've used that before.
It is, except if you're not leaning, you don't do, like, you almost don't get any progress on stalking.
That's true.
One that I find very interesting is Outdoor Security Camera, which lets him, if you're outside of his terror radius, he gets your aura as soon as he downs somebody. Now, if you combine that with one of Plague's perks, which is Infectious Fright, that makes people scream if they're inside your terror radius when you down somebody. That means no matter where the survivor is, when you down a survivor, you're going to know where all of them are. And that could be really tasty for Ghostface, whose specialty is downing people quickly. Knight, you should totally get into this game.
You should definitely try it. It's
this
really
game is
fun.
great.
Okay.
Got some tea over there?
I got some unsweet tea with lemon, the beverage of gods.
I have
Nice.
water.
Same.
So that's a pretty decent. Oh, and one of the other add-ons also makes it so they stay exposed longer once you finish stalking them. So that's pretty much all of the abilities that Ghostface has. Or I'm sorry, we've covered the abilities, perks, and add-ons for the Ghostface.
The Ghostface.
Yes.
I'm the Ghostface. Think I'm surrounded by pros? Nah.
No,
Only Dark's the pro here.
that's why he's here.
I'm decent.
He has the most venom as a killer.
I don't know about that.
Can we do we can do my super secret fun thing now though, since we've admitted that Dark's a pro.
Oh god.
What is this?
I need you to take an oath though that you're not going to use the wiki.
An oath.
Oh,
Should
I
we
know
finish
exactly
Ghostface
where
first?
this is going.
Whatever do you mean?
There is a test you wish for me to take. There.
Maybe.
Very
Oh, boy.
well.
Oh boy.
All right.
No wiki for Dark, please.
Okay, I am currently looking at the currently offline live screen.
All right.
Nice.
There is a reward for this though. If you get all 5 of these questions, well, there's 6 questions. One's a bonus question. If you get 5 of them right, you can get a $10 game off Steam of your choosing,
Oh wow.
courtesy of me.
Okay.
Oh. Yes. So there is a reward if you do. If you get 4 of them right, you can get a $4 game. 3, 2, 1. You know.
Okay.
So you have the potential here for a $10 game off Steam. Hey.
Okay.
Courtesy of Goth.
Thank you.
All right. So, and these questions are really hard. I'm sorry.
Well, shit.
Oh god. Here we go.
Azarov's resting place is one of the 5 maps in the blank realm.
Oh, Auto Haven.
Correct. Wow. Okay. Maybe Dark is good at things.
Oh boy.
Oh, maybe red is not the color we should do for correct answers.
Give me your $10.
What offering tremendously increases the chance to be sent to Leroy's Memorial Institute when burnt?
Broken glasses, I want to say, or shattered glasses, something of that nature.
Correct.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
There are 4 different names for Legion. What are they?
Oh, don't insult me. Joey, Frank, Susie, Julie.
Correct.
That's my boy.
What is the name of the banned perk for each survivor survived or kill? Sorry, let me read this better. What is the name of the banned perk? That. For each survivor escaped or killed, your action speed is increased by 1/7, 15, or 25%. It was the early version of Left Behind. It can only be used by hacking the game and results in a ban upon use. What is it?
Oof, that is one I have no idea of. I've never.
Whoa.
Forever survivor escaped or killed. Left Behind was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking know. That's before my time.
That's not fair. Left Behind is like Bill's perk.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. That's fine. I just got to get the other 2 right.
Last Standing is what it's called.
Last standing. Okay, I wouldn't have guessed that.
What killer is known as Lisa Sherwood?
Oh, Hag.
Correct. And the bonus question.
Okay.
The Shape's middle name is blank. Thus, his full name is...
The fuck? Hold on 1 second. I'll find out.
No, don't wiki it. If you wiki this, you don't win.
I'm not wikiing anything.
No. Dark.
What?
Do not wiki this.
I'm not wickling it.
I can hear you typing.
That was me.
No. it
Yeah.
wasn't. You're getting a $4 game no matter what if you cheat.
Oh god, hold on. Michael Myers middle name.
Cheater.
I'm not How dare you, God? How dare you? Oh my
You
god,
get this
hurry
right,
up
you're
and
cheating.
load. Hurry up and load. I'm not cheating, God.
So cheating.
Oh my god, you stupid game. Okay. Michael Audrey Myers?
Yes, but you cheated, so you don't get
How
that.
dare you?
That's not even on Wikipedia.
I had to Google that shit.
Yeah, well, you still
Like
look
I'm
at
looking at
I
Michael
never-
Myers'
I never-
Wikipedia page
I-
and it's not even on here.
You said I couldn't use the wiki, Goth. I used Google.
it. You
Oh,
get
shit.
you get a $4 game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You did good though. You did better than I thought you would.
Yeah, you hit me with like the hardcore shit at the end. Though. I was like, holy shit, I love that.
So you win a $4 game of your choosing. Let me know what
Okay.
you want off Steam.
I will have to think about it.
$4 is a lot of money.
That disappointing.
I'm sorry. I did my best.
I had to have a Myers question in there.
You know, the worst part is that if we had kept up with our Myers nights, I would have seen the Myers movie where it was revealed too.
Uh-huh.
'Cause
Probably,
I saw it
yeah.
was one of the newer ones.
Oh, shit.
I did nights. You'll have to.
We need to
forgive me.
continue that. What are we on, 5?
I think that was our last one, wasn't it?
I don't
We
think we've
watched
done 5 yet.
4. We did 4.
Yeah, we did 4.
Yep, but that was all the questions for Dark. Yay. Good job, Dark. He was so worried about that.
I was like, what the fuck is the surprise she's talking about?
All week you've been heckling me about that.
He did his best searching in that Google. Look,
Hey, look.
who the fuck knows Michael Myers' middle name?
I
It's
do.
not even in the Wikipedia.
Yeah, it is.
I'm offended by that night, assuming that I searched on Google. That
It is in the it's
He
in
actually
the
used
trivia
Bing.
section, by the way. On the wiki.
oh, that's why you were so protective over the wiki. Oh well, yeah, in general.
I
Oh,
was
no,
looking
I
at
literally-
Wikipedia.
To get to the so to get these questions, I literally went on the Dead by Daylight wiki and hit random page until I found stuff that was interesting.
Oh, that's nice. They had a quiz going around, so that's why.
Yeah, they did.
That's why I thought you were gonna have me take.
Mm-mm.
Damn, I had no idea about Last Stand though.
Yeah, that was really interesting to me. I actually, if you want to know more, save all the links in case you thought I was lying about things.
I wasn't going to assume that, but okay.
So, well, I prepare for people calling me on my shit and saying that my facts aren't true. So I prepared for it.
I'm calling you on your shit. Your facts aren't true.
Your facts aren't true.
Mm-hmm.
When you invite it so much.
Bill's not in council, so it doesn't count.
There you go. That's the information about Last Standing. It's in the stream chat for those who are interested.
Okay.
Also, interesting thing about Bill. It's canon that he dies in the game. There's like a map where you have to leave someone behind, and it's canon that Bill's the one that's left behind.
God, that seems like such a stupidly broken perk. 25% faster. So that means at tier 3, the last person, you're 75% faster.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
That's some rough shit.
Which
No
is
wonder it's
why
banned.
it's had 10 documented sightings.
10 documented sightings. So was this like something that never actually got into the game and it was like deleted before they released Bill?
I'm not
I think-
sure.
Sounds like it was like a beta version.
Yeah,
Probably.
because it was the early version of Left Behind, so I'm thinking it was the beta version, and then
Maybe it was.
people looked at it in the coding and was like, "Oh, well, that's better than Left Behind."
Well, why would they? That doesn't make sense though. If it was an early version of Left Behind is a survivor perk, not a killer perk.
Yeah.
So why would Bill come with a killer perk?
No, it's a survivor perk. It's on a
Oh,
survivor.
okay. This never mind. It's showing pictures of killers. That's why I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay, yeah, because the killer would be salty seeing they had that shit.
They'd be like,
Okay,
"What the fuck?"
that's why these are
Yeah.
Screenshots. Okay.
yeah, and
Oh,
they've all resulted in a permaban from the game. So
Nice.
Damn. King K. Rimson.
was
Look,
it
I'm
worth
not a
it?
Dead by Daylight pro. I'm just I play it a lot. I have probably like a little bit over 1,000 hours by now, I would say. Of course, you
Damn.
can't tell for certain because PS4 doesn't give you hours. I just play this
wish
shit
they
a
did.
lot.
Xbox does. Why doesn't PS4?
Xbox does? Damn.
Yeah, they do actually.
Huh. I don't know. Get with it, Sony.
What the fuck, Sony?
What's Sony doing these days anyway?
They don't know.
Let's see.
They're supposed to be working on a new console, but they don't want to tell us about it.
I do have one more thing I want to talk about with Ghostface and his ability to lose his red stain. So, a good survivor, well, not even a good survivor, a decent survivor, by the fact that he doesn't have a red stain. So, if a survivor is working a loop that you don't like and you use the stealth mode, they are fuck this shit. and they will abandon a very favorable loop to them very easily because they are so scared of you looping them. Also, if you want to get rid of pallets early game, if you stalk somebody and just chase them, I guarantee you every motherfucker will drop those pallets fast.
It's true.
And you will clear out so many pallets that way. Because that's one thing that's very helpful is if you can make the map unsafe by using up their resources to defend themselves with early game, you can certainly get a much easier to manage map later.
And you get that map pressure in.
Yes, map pressure. Huh. But who knows what map pressure is?
I don't know, Dark. Please tell us about.
Is it where you
map
press
pressure.
really hard on the map and it goes,
So-
ow, stop?
There are multiple types of map pressure, Goth. I'm glad you asked. Allow me to cover those. Okay, so map pressure. There are two types of map pressure. One we'll leave the second one off for now. The first one is the big one. So map pressure is, let's take a chase for instance. You're chasing one survivor, they get hit, 3 other people are doing whatever the fuck they want. They don't have to worry about your bullshit. Fuck you. So they're running, okay, whatever. You down somebody, great. You put them on the hook. Well, let's see. 3 people are sitting around doing whatever they want. 1 person has to go get them off the hook, whatever. There's still 2 people doing generators, progressing towards escaping. What you need to do is you need to create a situation that forces people to stop doing generators.
But Dark, shouldn't I camp the guy on the hook?
Well, Moon, that is what a noob would say. But you see, let's say I down somebody, but I have a vague idea where somebody else is. I could say, whatever, I don't care about that person, I just downed somebody, let me hook them real quick. But I could also say, let me go after that person and down them too. If I manage my chase well and down them quickly, I'll be able to down them before that first person gets rescued by somebody else. That means half of the survivors' team is now down. That means that I can start hooking them, and now one person... Oh my god, well, apparently me and I are on the same page. Okay, so that means that if one person comes to save those 2 people, there's a very good chance I'll take them down in the process, and that could snowball their entire team so that there's 1 person left. Where those 2 people, they can't just do whatever the fuck they want, because stakes are suddenly really high. You're talking about cutting their team in half. So that forces both of them to get off their asses and go save somebody. Turn buys me time. I'm getting hooks. I'm harassing their team that's trying to save people. They may save all but 1, and I may just get 1 down. But the fact is, I hook the first 2 people and then get an extra down, and during that time, they... So that is the concept of map pressure. That is a specialty of certain killers. Now, some killers aren't good enough to do that, and they have to rely on other things. So like Billy, for instance, he's a very fast downing character. Myers is a very fast downing character. They both have 1-shots. So they're strong at manipulating map pressure. On the other hand, you take a character like Legion. Legion can injure people very well, but when it comes to actually finishing the chase, he's just a normal killer. He has no help him end chase. Of that, he's not necessarily good at downing multiple people before the first one gets picked up. You might be able to pull it off, and if you see the opportunity, go for that shit, because that's going to help you. But what Legion does is he has a different type of pressure, and a lot of killers will have this type of pressure. Legion's pressure instead is delaying pressure. So if you do well with Legion, what you can do is instead you can injure everyone and force them to heal, like I mentioned earlier. And while they're all healing, you're downing somebody. And therefore, it's not necessarily map pressure in the traditional sense, but you're pulling them off of doing what they want to do in order to basically let you down somebody while nothing's getting done. That's if it's going well for you. It can easily go south. Let's see. Another character with delay pressure. Doctor has some delay pressure because he can make you go insane to the point where you can't work on anything.
Freddy.
Freddy, yeah, Freddy is. It's hard to- in concept, Freddy has map pressure, or
I would
delay
say he has more,
pressure.
yeah, delayed.
Yeah, in concept, as in Freddy can slow down your skill check or your progress, but it only works until you get a skill check. Freddy's getting reworked, so we're not going to worry about Freddy. Hag has a sort of delayed pressure, as does Trapper. The pressure that they have is uncertainty based. Basically, if I'm a survivor on a game with Trapper, I don't want to run anywhere because I don't know when I'm going to step in a trap. But I would say their abilities are more chase oriented. What other killers? I need a list of the killers. But they all have either some sort of delaying pressure or some sort of map pressure, unless they're Leatherface, at which point they're trash at anything except the worst strategy in the game. So,
No.
what?
Your favorite is Leatherface, and we
God.
know it.
I regret buying him. That's how
I-
bad he is.
I don't.
Okay,
He's-
so I'll tell you the
he's
reason
bad.
you get Leatherface. There is one reason to get Leatherface.
Barbecue and
Completionism?
chili.
Nope, barbecue and chili. Moon got it.
Completionism.
Barbecue and chili.
It's just
so
barbecue and chili. That's it. You don't need the
Barbecue.
achievements.
It completes your soul, so I guess that's technically right.
Completionism.
Barbecue and chili is definitely a perk that anyone will want to get. It's a very viable perk in almost any build. I don't use it in every build because there are certainly things you could swap it out with if you want to be more effective. But what barbecue and chili does is two things. The first time you hook a survivor in a match, you get a 25% bonus to your end game score. So if you hook all 4 survivors, you get a 100% bonus to your blood points that you earn, which are things you use to level up. In-game application that makes it useful is also if somebody is more than 40 meters away from you when you hook somebody, you can see where they are. So it helps a lot in terms of map awareness. So yes, barbecue and chili is the reason to get fucking Leatherface.
Though we do have the shrine, so you could just hope for that.
You could. You would be morally better than me, who funneled money in reward for that thing.
I bought all of them.
Yeah, me too. I was considering holding off on Ghostface at first because he had a really sketchy public test build where he was just complete trash, but they did a good job fixing him up.
I like him. He's
Yeah.
probably one of my favorites so far.
Take me a sip of my delicious.
He's no Myers Chan.
He's
No.
like Myers, but fast and sneaky.
But Myers is better.
No.
Yes.
I would say, like, viability wise, they're probably in similar places.
What we need is the girl from like Halloween 4.
Oh,
Then
God, the
Myers will
little
be
one.
good. Imagine being Myers but short.
What characters do we have that aren't in DBD besides Jason at this point?
Well,
Depends on what you define as a horror movie.
there's Hellraiser.
Ocho.
God.
I really want to see like Pumpkinhead. I think that would be really crazy.
I've been that we need like a Lovecraft style killer. I want like just some sort of abstract mess of tentacles and eyes.
Yeah, like a fucking Shoggoth. That'd be cool as hell.
Exactly. It's just like I want a character that damages you for looking at them. The opposite of Ghostface.
That would be cool, actually.
We also talked about a vampire.
Oh yeah, vampire
Yeah,
killer.
we could just have a straight up vampire.
The thing that I wonder about is it's like vampires. What sells a vampire isn't necessarily one trait or other. I guess blood sucking if you really wanted to get into it, but it's like the whole thing that sells a vampire is they have like a fucking Swiss Army knife of special.
That's true. We could get a werewolf.
I want a werewolf costume for Legion. I feel like his ability is very, very werewolfy. It's like he just
Yeah,
runs
that's
around
true.
crazy hitting. It's called Feral Frenzy.
Yeah. He's a werewolf.
We need it. I want him to howl when he goes to it too. I don't care if it helps the survivors know where you are. I want it.
You just want Town of Salem, but with Legion.
That'd be okay, yeah. Let's see.
Who else? Could get a leprechaun. I don't know. There's not too many like horror icons. Let me just look up like horror icons.
Yeah, I feel like we've got like almost all of them already.
Hannibal,
It's like fucking Jason, and that's it.
Candyman,
Who?
Candyman.
I don't watch horror movies. Chucky.
Everyone wants Chucky. I'm like, I don't like you enough.
I don't think
Go
Chucky
away.
would work because he's too small. How's he gonna pick you up?
Some people have said that they want him to like be able to be the guy who
Who what?
the
Who,
guy
what? You
before he
cut
got
out.
killed. The guy who before he got killed, I forget his name.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and then he can possess dolls and go after people in the doll form or something. I'm not necessarily very enthusiastic about Chucky. I don't personally like get too hyped for Chucky in general.
Oh shit! They ranked Freddy as top, like first place. Fuck yeah! In your
Wait,
faces. This list I'm looking at: Freddy's first place, then Jason, then Michael,
Man, fuck
and then Leatherface.
Jason's just like some stupid horror porn character.
Chucky. Then there's Pinhead from Hellraiser, which people have been speculating at.
Plus, the other thing is they have 2 more killers coming out. If we can't think what they are, then what are they?
Norman Bates.
Well, they could very well be original killers. I kind of like them to make original killers more because not only are they just different, something I haven't seen before, but also they let you buy them with their free currency, the iridescent shards. So yeah, I might not even have to pay for them.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just learned that I didn't have to pay for any of the characters. Like there's a lot of free shit you can get in this game.
There's Hannibal Lecter.
I don't know. I think we've pretty much good selection so far. I think that if they're going to start offering content outside of just killers in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, do you wanna cover some sick pro strats?
Oh shit.
Sick pro.
We've kind of done that a little bit here and there.
Huh?
What? Said we've been kind of doing that a little bit here and there.
Yes. I've got another sick pro strat for you. Now, you if you guys were paying attention, you would know that earlier I said we're gonna come back to that killer shack.
Oh
That we're
shit,
talking.
we're going back.
Well, guess what, guys? We're going
Oh
back.
shit, here we go
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. I hope you're ready.
Get that time machine.
I need like an alert for that. Oh shit, here we go again.
Okay, so yeah, as you can see, Survivor Chan is still like, oh no, coming for me. I better go through this window. Yes, my dog waggled because he's just freaking out. But what can Killer Sama do? Because if he keeps chasing from the time that this guy sees it, then he's gonna be here by the time he goes through the window. He's gonna be like in this area here. But what if Killer Sama's like, I know that the moment I get window and do this. Well, he could do what's called moonwalk. Moonwalking is at this moment right here. He knows Survivor's seen him, and he decides he's going to walk backwards so that the Survivor does not see his aura. He can't look inward because then the Survivor's going to see the aura in this area. So he has to look this way. So that way the Survivor doesn't see the aura creeping up the side of the building because that's going to tell the Survivor he's coming around this way. So then he just walks backwards until he gets to about this point here. At this point, Survivor Chan has just gotten over here. So he's right here, whacks Survivor Chan like a bitch. That is
beautiful.
It is. That is the essence of. Now, at any loop, pretty much, it doesn't have to be that particular. I fucked up my highlighter. It doesn't have to be the killer shack. So let's say the only requirement is that the Survivor cannot have a visual on the killer. It has to be all barrier. Now, with a medium-sized barrier, because he can crouch. So if you do it really quick and only to like gain just a little bit of distance, Ghostface can do it with a shorter barrier. But like, say you're in this situation here. pallet, and another wall. So,
Another
your
wall.
yep, your survivor's going this way. Woo! I'm this way. I'm gonna get that pallet and fuck over your day. I'm killer. I'm going this way. After this asshole. If I keep going this way, he's gonna get to the pallet and he's gonna fuck over my day. But with the power of Michael Jackson, I'm going to go this way while facing this way. So my aura, my red stain, will still show here. I'll probably go to around here so he can see me coming around this corner. And then I'm going to walk backwards. By the time I'm here, he's going to be right about here, thinking that I'm still behind him. I moonwalk through this, turn around real quick, smack a bitch.
I approve of this because it's named after me.
Moon invented, actually.
I did. Michael Jackson appropriated it from me.
So yes, that is the concept of moonwalking, which is a very important, like when you're getting against good survivors who know how to loop you for a long period of time, it is essential into introducing uncertainty into their game plan. It can almost be better than Ghostface's ability to remove his red stain, because in this situation they think they know where you are because they're looking at that red stain, whereas in Ghostface's situation they know they don't know anything, so they're gonna probably just run away. So yes, that is a very essential tactic for high level play, to try to get a benefit in a chase, running to the survivor's desired point. Because if you run to the survivor's desired point, it's going to take forever. I see we have Michael Jackson trying to adopt this, because Michael Jackson, in case you guys were unaware, is a very enthusiastic Dead by Daylight player. Look at him go. Look at him go. He's going to
He's a
fuck
pro.
over that. Look at him.
He's got them pro strats.
It is. It's the best pro strats.
Shimon.
That's the pose you do when you defeat the survivor.
That is true.
When do we get Michael Jackson as like the next killer?
I do want to like pick some up and hear him go, Shamona!
Because I'm bad.
Oh god, imagine Smooth Criminal lean.
Oh, man,
my
that'd
God,
be great.
yeah.
I tried doing that one time. I'm like, my god, my fucking ankle is gonna break.
Wait, is Michael Jackson dark?
I mean, I don't know if he'll work as stealth. I mean, those glitter are for like sneaking up on people.
There he is again, doing that moonwalk.
Although I will say that, wait, is Michael Jackson dark? I mean, not anymore. Not since like the surgeries or whatever. But there's one thing also for anyone who's getting into Ghostface that I have to stress. There's a few things, because Ghostface can be very frustrating early, and I struggle. I'm like, for a while, I'm like, I fucking hate this character. This is miserable. Okay, here's the thing with Ghostface. Don't focus on sneaking up with people every time.
Yeah, because then you'll just get fucked.
Yeah, they will hear you coming a lot of the time because you do make that whistling noise, and you may not have a vantage point that's advantageous for you, because you have to move so you can stalk them from the right angle. And if they're on a generator and they're on the other side of the gen, you can't do that, and you have to like make a giant ass circle around them. It doesn't always work. So, a lot of Ghostface, in terms of the strategy for him, is knowing what to do when. Opportune moment presents itself. One of the best things you can do if you are successfully stalking somebody and not having them know is you get them to 99% stalked. You don't get them quite to exposed status, because when they're in exposed status, which is where they go down in one shot, you have 45 seconds to down them. If they run you for those 45 seconds, then you just wasted that time. So what you do is you wait until they're 99%, and then you get really close to them, and then you stalk them. Basically, you lock it in first, because as soon as they know that they're exposed, they get a notification on their screen, so they'll start running. But if you wait, you might be able to get closer, and you can wait and see if it's the right opportunity, or if you want to save it for later. Also, don't give up on stalking somebody just because they see you. If they see you and they start pulling you out of stealth, crouch down and duck behind shit and abuse the lean ability. It's very hard to reveal Ghostface while he's lean. So a lot of the time you'll be doing like this little dance around cover to try to avoid them from spotting you while you're leaning out to try to get them exposed. It's an awkward dance. But that is just as much playing Ghostface. And then there's other times where it's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go after this person. I'm going to sneak up on them and hit them once. I'm not going to get my exposed hit. We're going to have a normal chase after that. But you still got that first hit. So it's like, you got to weigh your options with Ghostface a lot. And a lot of whether you're playing him successfully or not is not only about that in-the-moment chase skill, but it's also about deciding what type of chase you want to have.
You gotta keep that map pressure up.
You do. Like, I got so screwed over because it's like every time I got exposed with Ghostface when I started, I was like, whatever, fuck this, I'm gonna go somewhere else until I get my ability back. And it's like, I'm like, I have this person at 99% star, and sometimes you'll get them to 99% and they will reveal you, and that sucks. Here's my thought process. Do I know where somebody else is right now? Or do I have something I could be doing that would be beneficial to me? If the answer is no, hit their ass anyways. Because it's like, it's better to have a longer chase than nothing at all.
Yeah, because then you just get gen rushed and then you're screwed.
Yeah, it's like, it's minor map pressure, but it's still something to stop them. So yeah, those are my strats for Ghostface and my pro moonwalking tech.
It's beautiful. I approve of the moonwalking.
I approve of the tech.
I'm glad.
All right. I think we've covered everything. Yeah.
No, we haven't, Goth.
Okay.
You forgot we're supposed to cover my E3 impressions.
And also, you forgot soap shoes.
Okay. Well, I didn't.
That's
forget
true.
soap
Soap
shoes.
shoes.
I chose to pretend that those don't exist. Tell me
Look,
about your.
it's
E3
on the list. What are you talking about?
Okay. Dark. Tell us about your E3 impressions.
Well, I really like the segment where they use soap shoes.
Okay. You can find us in different places during the week.
We're not done.
I'm done with you.
Look at this. This is the height of athleticism that Moon has captured for us.
Look, it's beautiful.
All right.
Look.
Dark. Where can we find you?
How can we put
Find me
soap
at
shoes in Dead
this
by Daylight?
user ID. He typed D for dark. That's me.
That's beautiful.
My general E3 impressions are Ikumi Nakamura is best girl.
She is.
And Death Stranding looked pretty nifty as Ori and the Will of the Wisp. That's pretty much it. I kind of skipped E3 a lot. Moon, didn't you have other games you wanted to talk about too?
I wanted to touch on a couple games that I missed when we did the E3 thing, just real quick. There's like a Destroy All Humans remake, which sounds fucking amazing. I don't know if you guys ever played Destroy All Humans.
I did.
My little brother was always a really big fan of it when I was younger. I haven't personally played it.
You can actually get both games on PS4, but apparently they're remaking the original.
Now, when you say remake, are we talking like Final Fantasy VII remake, or are we talking like better textures?
I think it's like a straight up remake. I don't think it's a remaster.
Nice.
That's
Well,
dope.
Usually when they say remake, it's new shit. And
Yeah, I
also,
mean-
they're remaking Battle for Bikini Bottom.
I haven't ever played that one. I don't even know. I don't even think I've seen that one.
It's a SpongeBob.
It's like the only good SpongeBob game. But it's
Yeah.
actually like a really good open world platformer.
Oh, that makes me think of one of the older Toy Story games was like that, where it wasn't necessarily open world, but it was kind of like a sandbox game where you just sort of like traveled around these areas and like platforming around and doing little quests. It was probably the only good. Well,
I remember
There's
playing
that.
a Buzz Lightyear one.
yeah, there was a Star Command one where it was like the actual Buzz Lightyear instead of the toy Buzz Lightyear, and that was pretty fun too, actually. Toy Story had some good ass games back in the day.
They did. Actually, Toy Story 4 just came out recently.
Oh yeah,
I
I've
haven't
heard.
seen anything on it.
I've heard it's really good, but I don't know. There was some moral outrage about it that I can't recall why, but outside of that, I heard it was good.
The only reason I didn't
Mhm.
see it this weekend for my birthday was because I saw Dirty Dancing instead.
They
Nice.
did a new Dirty Dancing?
They do classic cinema at the theater near me.
Oh, right. You said that.
Knight, I think you're thinking of remasters because usually remake is like more of a ground up recreation.
I'm trying to think. So, yeah, remasters sometimes have like additional features, where remakes usually bring something completely new to the table, building on top of what we already had. Sort of.
Okay. All right. So, what else you got?
Well, Bloodstain just came out.
Oh God, is that only on Switch or what is that on?
Okay, it's on. I think it's on PC, PS4. Actually, it might be on everything. I know the Switch version just came out today.
If
Sorry.
Bless you.
I've been awake since 7:30, so I'm hitting my
I've been
limit.
awake since 6:30.
I'm hitting my limit though.
like, since the time I woke up.
It's on literally everything.
Oh shit, how much is it?
It's 10% off right now.
Let me reboot real quick or refresh you. Yeah, it still
No.
shows offline.
Offline.
Wait.
Online!
We're back.
Oh, we're back.
Currently online.
Holy moly! What the fuck?
Nifty.
That was weird.
Yes, it was, but it is okay now.
We did it. We fixed it.
Okay,
Everything's
so
back to normal.
we're kind of towards the end. Did you have anything more you want to talk about?
I feel like there's something else I was gonna say. The Starbound had a huge update. That's about it. I feel like there's something else.
Others.
Are there? I said others. Just, is there any games that you or Goth wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about last week?
No, not really. I mean, I'm very focused these days. I have the Dead by Daylight and I have Dreams, and I don't have much else that I'm interested in.
Like I said, I just started Breath of the Wild, so
I'm gonna be like consumed with Final Fantasy 14 starting Friday. Cause like that's when the early access for the new expansion drops. That is a good point, Dark.
Thank you.
well, all right. With that, I think we're done.
I have commands for you guys.
Where, Dark? You're not doing anything this week. Where can people find you?
Right there. I put it in the
Perfect.
chat.
Yeah, so yes, I am also known as Chris, aka TheDarkWall. Yes, I'm taking the week off, so yeah, I never do that, and I just wanted to like not do things for a while. But I will be back this coming Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be streaming Dreams, and then Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We start a little bit early on Fridays. I'll be doing Dead by Daylight, so that's where you guys can catch me.
Moon, what are you doing this week?
Shit, what the hell am I doing? Well, I need to edit this and last episode. I'm gonna put them on the RSS feed so that they'll be available on everything instead of just YouTube and Twitch.
My dog waggles in approval of this.
He approves. But what am I streaming? I'm gonna do more City of Heroes on Thursday, just because that was kind of fun. And then Saturday night, I'm probably gonna do more Soma. I don't know how much longer we have in that, but I've been having a lot of fun with that game.
Yeah, Soma's been a really engaging game of like making you ask what the hell's going on. That's how you know a story's good.
It's really good. So I'm interested to see where that's going.
I've actually gotten into
hey, Nalik.
Vampire the Masquerade. I've enjoyed that one.
You been playing it, or you been watching?
I haven't been playing. I've just been like those streams have been pretty fun to watch too.
I might stream more of that this weekend. I'm not sure. Depends on time.
I got you.
And Dragon Ball Legends on Sunday.
So you can have people come in and be like, "Oh
Look,
yeah."
I'm almost to 3,000 on my main character, and then I'm gonna get the other two up, and then they won't be able to annihilate me anymore. It's gonna be great.
Good. You have to make them pay for what they have done.
Currently, I'm training in the hyperbolic time chamber.
That's good.
IRL.
Next week or this week. Wow, words are hard. What am I doing this week? Tomorrow's Wednesday. Tomorrow, I am doing A Way Out with the Soulless Legion at 7 on my channel. Thursday, we're watching Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death on Rabbit. And I was supposed to stream on Saturday, which is now going to be Sunday because I'm going to shoot a movie on Saturday. So,
Oh, what?
Sunday. Yeah. I'm not in it. I'm just helping direct it.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna
it's
be there for
called-
the movie night, or should I postpone again?
I will be there. My stream's going to start at 2 on Sunday.
What? No, I meant
Yeah.
Saturday.
Oh, I might be there.
I mean, I can. Well, I don't know if Dark's doing a movie night. Are you doing a
I'm
movie?
kind of just letting you guys do whatever at this point because you guys got a lot going on, so I'm not worried about it.
Well, I guess we can move it to Sunday then.
Well, Sunday at 2, I am doing a stream. So,
Okay.
Okay.
of Kelowna, Door to Phantomville. Great game. You should definitely come check that out.
Don't tell me I live my life.
But yeah,
I was
the
stuck
movie,
on my lunch break.
the movie filming thing just came up like 2 hours ago. So
Oh. Well, that sounds fun.
yeah, it's called something. I can't remember.
It's called.
It's called Complicated.
What the fuck?
You and your cringy ass movies.
Demon Shoes was great.
Are you shooting a porno?
No.
Gotham is like ever closer to shooting porn to the point where when she does shoot porn, she won't even realize it.
She's like,
The
no,
best-
this is just a pink movie, whatever the fuck he said.
It's
Yeah,
a
the
pinky
pink
violence.
film.
It's just
We're
a
watching
pink
another
film.
one of those soon. Don't worry.
Oh
Oh,
god.
God.
No, so this actually is a comedy. It's not. It has no sex in it. But the girl was the actress that they found walked into a room to audition with 4 guys and was like, I'd feel really more comfortable if a woman was here. And they were like, by the way, we have one. I was like, hi. So that's why
you just gotta go there to be like, don't worry, it's not a porno.
Literally, that's my job. Like, I am there to assure this girl that it is not a porn scene, and that it is a legit thing we are doing, and it will be fine.
Okay.
Well, you have fun with that.
That's a paid position. Porn, not porn insurer is what we call it.
So yes, that's where I'll be this week. It's been fun.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So I should have last episode and this episode up on the feed by tomorrow. So people who want to listen to the audio only version can do that.
You won't see Dark's awesome drawings.
You won't
but-
see his drawings. You'll just have to imagine how awesome they are.
You should really just watch the stream archive so you can see my sick drawings.
All right, guys, it's been real.
All right. Bye-bye.
Boy.
Bye.